Welcome to the Belated Tech Channel's 26th edition of the Tesla and SpaceX Redux. We are reviewing the milestones that occurred on each day in the week of March 15th through March 21st in the history of Tesla, SpaceX, Starlink, the Boring Company, and Elon Musk's other various business ventures. March 15th, 2011, Tesla CEO Elon Musk said on or about this date regarding the merits of capacitors versus batteries in electric transportation, quote, "If I were to make a prediction, I think there's a good chance that it is not batteries, but capacitors." Musk made the comments at the Clean Tech Forum in San Francisco. It turns out the original reason Musk moved to California in the 1990s was to do research on advanced high-energy density capacitors at Stanford and to try to leverage what the billionaire said was tens of billions of dollars of R&D that's been spent in that technology space. Musk lasted only 2 days at Stanford before dropping out and starting his own company in the internet arena. As of 2021, neither Tesla or SpaceX have implemented capacitors in favor of batteries for energy storage in any significant capacity. March 16th, 2017, the EchoStar XXIII satellite was lifted to orbit on a Falcon 9 FT rocket, booster 1030, from the Kennedy Space Center's Launch Complex 39A on this date. EchoStar XXIII is a communications satellite for broadcast services over Brazil. No attempt was made to recover the booster. It was the first uncrewed non-station launch from Launch Complex 39A since Apollo 6 on April 4th, 1968. Due to the payload size and a launch into geosynchronous transfer orbit, the booster was expended into the Atlantic Ocean and did not feature landing legs and grid fins. March 17th, 2012, Musk's comments defending commercial space travel were revealed near the state just before CBS's video columnist program 60 Minutes were to air them on television. Astronauts Neil Armstrong and Gene Cernan have been sharply critical of NASA's push to commercialize space. Both testified before Congress to protest against government reliance on private space vehicles, saying that the commercialization of space could threaten America's dominance in space exploration. It appeared Armstrong and Cernan's testimonies were on behalf of the United Launch Alliance, whose subcontractors had dominated the federal space industry for decades. Musk said, quote, "I was very sad to see that. Those guys are heroes of mine, so it's really tough. I wish they would just come and visit, see the hard work we're doing here, and I think it would change their mind. I think we are at the dawn of a new era." March 18th, 2020, the Starlink 5 satellite cluster was lifted to orbit on a Falcon 9 B5 rocket, booster 1048, from the Kennedy Space Center's Launch Complex 39A on this date. An attempt to land the booster on a drone ship failed. It was the 5th operational and 6th major launch of Starlink satellites. It was also the first time a first-stage booster flew for a 5th time, and the second time the fairings were reused. Towards the end of the first-stage burn, the booster suffered premature shutdown of an engine, the first of a Merlin 1D variant, and first since the CRS-1 mission in October of 2012. However, the payload still reached the targeted orbit. This was the second Starlink launch booster landing failure in a row, later revealed to be caused by residual cleaning fluid trapped inside a sensor. March 19th, 2020, Musk tweeted on this date, quote, "Kids are essentially immune to COVID-19, but elderly with existing conditions are vulnerable. Family gatherings with close contact between kids and grandparents probably most risky." Musk based his comments on early data from Italy, which was the first European country to be overrun by the pandemic. Italy was a close business partner of China. The Tesla and SpaceX CEO received an enormous amount of criticism for the tweet, but Musk was eventually proven right. A representative study released in the European Journal of Epidemiology in December of 2020 showed that those under age 55 had less than a 0.4% fatality rate to the disease. The fatality rate for children under the age of 10 was less than 2 in 100,000. In contrast, flu fatalities for children under 10 are actually twice as high, or 5 in 100,000. Elon Musk confirmed on Twitter this date, quote, "Yes, we're working on ventilators, even though I think they probably won't be needed." Musk's comment came during the darkest days of the COVID-19 epidemic, when U.S. hospitals were running out of ventilators due to doctors trying to treat reduced breathing capacity brought on by acute symptoms of the virus. The Trump administration had requested U.S. auto manufacturers design and build ventilators to plug the gap. The crisis in ventilators eased when doctors discovered better methods to treat the virus, and as more ventilators were made available by the U.S. government from emergency stockpiles, from ventilator manufacturers themselves, and even some shipments from the automakers. The ventilator shortage had also been caused by the most vulnerable segment of the U.S. population succumbing to the virus. As healthier patients fell ill, the most severe symptoms became rarer. Tesla ended up purchasing ventilators for California hospitals rather than building an internal design, but Musk again was eventually proven right. March 21st, 2007. A test payload was lifted to 179 miles above the Earth by SpaceX Falcon 1 rocket from the Omelek Island Launch Complex at the Ronald Reagan Ballistic Missile Defense Test Site. The Falcon 1 booster was not designed to return for a landing and was expended in the Pacific. It was the Falcon 1's first successful first-stage burn and transition to second stage. However, a harmonic oscillation was introduced to the craft at T+5 minutes, and there was premature engine shutdown at 7 minutes and 30 seconds. The payload failed to reach orbit. It would be another 18 months before Falcon 1 did so. Before we get to the current event of the week, we wanted to see if you enjoyed this 26th episode of Bladed Tech's Tesla and SpaceX Redux. If so, click that like button. Did you agree with our choices, or are there other events that were better? Go ahead and share with us by dropping a comment below. And if you have suggestions for an event in the future, we'll take those too. We'll credit events we pick for future videos to those viewers that post them. We hope you have been enjoying our content. Have we earned your subscription to our channel? If yes, and you have not yet taken the opportunity to subscribe, please take a moment to do so now and click the bell notification icon so you don't miss upcoming videos. We want to continue delivering great content to you. You can always unsubscribe, and subscribing is free. On March 10th, 2021, it was revealed by media outlets that SpaceX had applied to the U.S. Federal Communications Commission for permission to deploy Starlink broadband internet services to trucks, planes, and ships. Musk dismissed chatter about Tesla cars being fitted with Starlink antennas, saying that passenger vehicles don't need that kind of bandwidth and are best served by cellular coverage. SpaceX's application said, quote, "Granting this application would serve the public interest by authorizing a new class of ground-based components for SpaceX's satellite system that will expand the range of broadband capabilities available to moving vehicles throughout the United States and to moving vessels and aircraft worldwide. The marketplace is no longer willing to forego connectivity while on the move, whether driving a truck across the country, moving a freighter from Europe to a U.S. port, or while on a domestic or international flight." Links to some of our most recent episodes can be found in the description section below. You can peruse our entire 200+ video library by looking at our playlists, which conveniently sort videos by subject. We announce all new videos on our microblogging accounts, which are listed below, as well as in the community feed for this channel. Want to know how to navigate our channel content? We refer to RetroTech and innovation documentary segments as episodes. Coverage of current events in space exploration, science, and technology are labeled as shorts. Space and tech history are documented in an anthology called Milestones. And gameplay recordings can be discovered on the Bladed Tech gaming channel in videos called Walkthroughs and Side Missions. Stay connected by occasionally checking our Instagram feed, where we post content from our upcoming episodes and from episodes past that you may have missed. And finally, join us on our Facebook and Minds pages, where we cover current news and events related to channel content. Thanks for watching.